I was in the middle. I had to fill out paperwork more than normal, so I basically had to take it myself for being excessively late. So got to deal with that when I'm done here, and yeah, my bad. I apologize. So we're here. We're running very, very late. We're gonna try to keep things going. Oh, give me just a second here to get set up. You definitely should put that. People would know I'm the sheriff if they don't see it. Sorry? Does that work? What do you say? It's still freezing where I'm at. So, yeah, I was basically kidnapped by the Arctic Mafia. And that's what took so long. It was finally released. I know there's missing persons reports out there. You know, there was a situation, but we're good now. So just we're gonna try to just, yeah, babe, I know. We're gonna try to make the best of it. You know, I'm really kind of jumpy ever since, you know, everything that happened. So yeah, I know. That's first thing, Ground Hunter, I want to say is shout out to Low Impact Forestry and Tree. And also shout out to what was the other? Oh yeah, in the trees. So yeah, new members. I think also I think last week William Moxley joined. So we got Turtleman's part of it. Like we're building a bit of an army over there. So those guys are all, I don't want to call you privates because that's too much, like too close to like some, like being called a crotch. That's what I call like unions and trees. Like it's sus to talk like that. So you guys are all deputies. So you know, respect their authority. And yeah, just wanted to say shout out to In the Trees, William Moxie, Low Impact Forestry and Tree, Ground Pounder, J306, Super Shay, 5 Chris 5, Chris Beckett, James R, and Bucky S. Sauls. I think that's maybe we're like 10 or so. As a YouTuber, you're told that you should not ever tell how many members you have because you want people to think you have a whole bunch of them. So if they want to join too, like they're missing out. But yeah, I should try to be transparent. That's where all my content goes that is edited. I put a lot of work in my edited content, and I feel like it's like a lot of the videos I've put out here recently is some of my best stuff. So right on. Sweet. Yeah, I'll try to shoot enough tips and tricks to you we can justify it. What happened to trees? Regular hunter. So they ended up going under. Playing the insurance game is a rough one. You're dependent on an insurance company to pay you an amount of money that you did not mutually agree to. So the way that works is you'll get called out for an insurance job, you'll go to do the job, then you'll bill the insurance company. Um, History with it is kind of, I mean, it's storm work and it's more dangerous, and you know that should be its own thing. It deserves to have additional cost put onto it, but some guys take advantage of the fact that there's no back and forth between them and the the insurance company. You just send them a bill. So they're beefing stuff up, and then you get to where the insurance company does not agree with it, and then when there's a disagreement there, then there's a halt on payment, and if you depend on that and you just grind and that's all you do, you make a couple major insurance companies angry with you, and they get to where they owe you a $500,000, and there's a dispute on it, and I don't really know how that all goes, to be like 100% honest, but I would figure the insurance companies probably win most of the time. So that's all I know. I know that they spread themselves too thin, and they basically had, similar to what the story he told about what happened to him with that Justin Hartman. He kind of had happen now, so it's really weird. It's a weird one. So yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I mean, or like a package or a bulge or something. It's all a little sus. So just did a huge progressive tree, and I was able to get a new pair of chaps actually. Right on. That's awesome. All right, so where do we? Okay, so any you guys that are here, let's do. I'll just kind of be straight up. So I put out a video last week, and I did this all in fun. Okay. I put out a video last week where my spike broke. Okay. I got down. There was some honey locust trees, and they had broke and were onto a roof. So they were really tricky to access, but was able to get out there and rig them out away from the house. And there was, I think it was the third one maybe that day or something that I had been in. And as I got to the ground, I took my spike off, like I unvelcroed. I think I always undo my bottom strap, and then I can unvelcro and slide my leg out immediately. So as I unvelcroed and pulled my leg out and the spike fell over, it broke. And I made a short where I showed what I did and what happened. And we'll definitely get someone's attention at the entrance. 100% Babylon. Yeah. I mean, and it's like you give them an inch, they take a mile, sort of kind of thing. Like, you there's something where I've had done to me where it, depending on what kind of person you are, you can really take advantage, or you start to almost goof yourself. So you'll find those people that you help out, that you work for, that are like, when something needs done, you need to tell me. When you drive by, if you see something, let me know. And it's like, okay, right on. And they're like, before you ever say what you think as far as price, they say do it. They tell you do it, and they don't know what you're even going to say because they 100% trust you. And I have quite a few of those kind of people that, it's just, it is absolutely to their advantage with me. But with someone else, they would try to get a little extra each time, a little more, and a little more, and a little more, and a little more, until the point that the person finally started to look at it and they're like, it's just too much now, and they go with somebody else. They don't use you. So me, I'm always so, like, I'll worry so much about not giving them a good deal or making it look, because they give me 100% of their trust. I'm worried to take advantage of that or something. I don't know. I'm just being straight up. So I will always do it for less than I normally would because I'm afraid of them thinking that I'm trying to take advantage of the fact that they trust me. So when it's all said and done, I'm always like, oh, dang, I goofed because I don't want them to think I'm taking advantage of them because they 100% give you trust. But then those are usually the times where they'll just throw extra on, do a huge tip or something. It's like it all works out. It all works out. So I feel like you treat people good, good things can happen. And if you treat people bad and you try to take advantage of situations, things will catch up with you eventually. That's just kind of life. That's just life in general. So we're gonna get to the tickets violations too. So on my patio business before. So yeah. Yep. Yeah. So, like I was saying, I put that video out, and all I was showing in that video is how amazing it was that I think some people may have thought I took my spike and I threw it on the ground when I was done. That's ridiculous. I'm not a child, so I wouldn't do that. I think that's really weird. But the wide array of comments, and some of them were very, very strange. You know what? The regular hunter, I feel like that's one of those rare traits that'll set you apart from other people these days. Like, you start to stick out, but you have to be a bit rough on the exterior to make it clear, like, don't take advantage of me, which it's always a give take, no matter what you're dealing with. So, Super Chat here? I didn't even see. Dang it. So in the comment section, so a couple people were like, "That's why you can't be throwing your stuff." Other ones were basically like, "Okay, it was 15-second video, and I got comments like, come on, man, things break. You know this. Looks like you've got more than your wear and tear out of those. You need to get new ones or whatever." That is really weird to go straight to that. In the video, I didn't say, "I can't believe this. My old tree gaffs just broke. Oh my goodness." What up, Nate? What's up? I'm gonna get into the whole thing with these. I'll do that real quick before we start our violations. So when I got down, I'll show you. I brought the broken pieces. So check this out. So on a spike, and what I'll do is I'll take this one off. The way mine work, I'm gonna show you everything real quick. So I use pole gaffs. Look how small that gaff is. The bottom, if like you're like there. So you see how far away that is? It doesn't get anywhere near touching the ground when I'm using them. And see how thick those are and kind of almost rounded? They fit onto the boot so nice. It's no sharp points or anything. You can see how gradual everything is. I really like that. I really, really like how close the gaff is to this. So this is offset a little bit. And then when it goes in, here's the straight line. So the gaps are almost on the shaft line. They're just offset a tad. You can kind of see it. They're only out, like, I'd say, because the pad goes, it straightens here. So I really, really like that. That forces me not to have to use them in a real bow-legged. Yeah, I told the whole story. I was basically kidnapped by the Arctic Mafia, and yeah, it was a whole situation, but we're good. We're good as like now, and still, like I said, I'm still just a bit nervous, so. Bunch of weirdos showing up in there. Yeah, yeah, it happens here too. Yeah, I had to. I absolutely had to. It was it was a whole like Rambo situation. You know, I'm sure they'll make a movie about it probably. But so I one thing I do want to do is I would like to switch to the Velcro straps here, but I prefer these. I don't have to set in such. Now here's a comparison. Look at here's a tree climbing spike. Do you see how far out this point is from the shaft over here? It's 2 to 3, probably 3 inches out here where it comes down and meets. That puts your foot 3 inches or so away from the tree. I don't much like that. I'm not a fan of that. So these are brand new. These are Buckingham's. I mean the straps are still brand new. I may steal these straps off, but I need to just get Velcro. So when it broke up here. Now I use the Velcro, Buckingham Velcro double big buck pads. So these are double width. They're Velcro, and the way these Velcros work. Okay, but the best thing about Velcro is things like this, where you have holes. You see how there's so many holes really close together? See, they started doing that because it was very limited. You'd almost have to punch your own holes into your spikes. Depending on what boots you're wearing, you know, how cold or warm it is that day, it could change, like, from time to time. So it gets very aggravating when you have straps like this. Look how old, the other one's way older, but straps like this, that you have to go at a certain hole. So Velcro gives you to where you can tighten it down at the perfect tightness and full adjustability. There's just 100% you can put it to the exact tension. So I would like to go to Velcro down here eventually, but that's not the point of this video. These are Bajlin pole gaffs. They're aluminum. They are, so I would say this doesn't even have the upper shafts on it that you size it up and down. I took them off. They're on this other one. This is about as heavy as this whole thing, and these pads are the heavy part. That's thick leather, but so this broke, and let me show you. Here it is. Here is the upper shaft for the other one, like the other side that didn't break, and look at this. Do you see that? See the mushrooming and stuff going on there? Where it's just this huge dent in it. It's bent off to the side. That part there is starting to like twist and it's getting cut into. You can see the mushrooming there. So this is the effects that you're seeing there from a little piece of metal rubbing all the time. So on these spikes, I guess I didn't have to do all that. The way they're connected is they slide up through this groove thing. And there's a little Velcro strap here. And there's these little blue metal, like a sleeve that it sets into. And you run the strap through there. So we pop that strap off. pull it through here. So now I can take the spike off. Alright. So on the pad, that's metal. This little piece here, metal. I even put tape around it because that's where it was rubbing on the other shaft. And just that little bit of rubbing on that thing. This was, I think, for the other one. But like right there, when it would rub on those pins, it started to cut into it. That's the effects of aluminum on metal when it's making contact repeatedly and rubbing, it's got movement. I realized that. It's been a while back. We did a video, I showed it on something, I can't remember. But, so, on the other one, it broke in half. Well, in thirds. So, that's the way it was looking. Hang on, I'm almost got it clicked together. Because it was bent like crazy. I put JB Weld to close the hole up a little bit, but all in all, it did the same thing. It's got that mushroomy thing right here where it was cutting into it, and it had cracked. It cracked all the way around. So this one was still a little bit straight, but it started to bend. So what I did is I pulled, well, originally I still had one more to do, and I ended up having to climb out and take, oh yeah, I had one lead left, a low lead that went out over a Bradford pair, and I was taking the whole lead off. So I ended up taking these spikes and using those. So you'll see the video. I rope walk up. I hated using these in rope walk fashion. I kept gaffing the side of my boot and sticking this one into the Haas ascender, and my foot ascender, spike ascender kept kicking off, and I don't know. I just hated all of it. So like I said, brand new Buckinghams. So I slipped these onto the pads and used it. This was probably my worst like spike experience wearing gaffs in over a decade. Yeah, at least over a decade. It was the worst. I do not like tree gaffs. Just don't. I'd rather have the potential of gaffing out all the time and using a much smaller one. This is insanely light in comparison to that. So when I got down and I was done for the day, I had to figure out a way to get these back and use them, because my aim was all off. It was all what you get used to, but it sucked. So if I got down, went home that night, and I started thinking, I wonder if like this aluminum bottoms, because this is the part that broke, if I could take the metal off of the metal ones and put the aluminum one inside of it. So I know what you're thinking. Why would you do that? You just showed the effects on aluminum and metal. That's when there's movement, when there's allowed movement, and it's able to do all that. It won't be able to do that in this situation because it's fixed with screws. So as long as they stay tight, I don't let them get to moving all over the place. Shouldn't have any issue. It sits in there. There's like, I almost had to like kind of force it down on there with a little bit of hammering, because I think these are maybe even a little thicker. But yeah, luckily I was able to pull the aluminum ones off, take the metal ones off of the metal, and then slip them over the aluminum, so that I was, after everything was done, I was able to just take these. Also, these are Weaver ankle pads. So these are super comfy. If you've ever had an issue with your spikes hitting your ankle or anything, you can use that. Or if you got like above the ankle, right where your calf starts, it can, any way you can eliminate any negative space where it can get movement, the spike's gonna feel tighter on your foot. So I love these things. I've always, I think I don't know, maybe 10 years of using them, maybe 8, but a long time. So once again, I'll take and put this thing back, and then we will get to our violations. Um, yeah, so again, thanks to the new members. That blew my mind. Right before the live feed, I was trying to hurry, and I was like, oh, I need to check and see members. There's never any new members usually. And then I remembered, oh yeah, William joined. And then I went over and there was like 2 or 3 new ones. So I was like, yeah, sweet. So I hate that the content isn't able to be watched, but you know, it is what it is. Sticking to my standards. You guys ready? Sorry for rambling all that time, but with pole gaffs, you will gaffs out. I mean, I rarely gaff out. I mean, there's a thing where if you get used to wearing gaffs, you get good at it, and you can do this almost weightless, kind of a feeling where you're using a lot of your upper body, your fingers, like your hands, and I don't know. I'm always tied in. So maybe that's one of them reasons why I'm a stickler about set your tie-in point from the ground, have 2 tie-ins on the way up. Like you're not gonna catch me just buck strapping. So it's 2025. There's no sense in that. What do you think, BTS? I have my O2. I'm gonna switch to. What'd he say? Okay, alright. Poirier or Holloway? Who wins tonight? Dude, that's a really tough one. Because I feel like Poirier has Max's number. It's just what it is. And I don't see Max being able to change it up enough to make a big difference. Poirier figured out that Max is a rhythm fighter, and if you break his rhythm, like, that's the way to beat him. And I feel like that's why, Bulk was able to do as good as he's done. Like, I think he just took the advice of Poirier and applied it. But who knows? Max is up a size. Like, he looks thick. Like, maybe he's got the power now, and that could change something. So I think if I had to go with somebody, even though I feel like Poirier is gonna win, I want Max to win. Caitlyn? Damn about Caitlyn? Nobody here gives a damn about what? What? Dude, you're a baller. Alright. Dude, you did see we have upgraded. Oh, dang it. I need a blue one too. Oh, and ground pounder. I forgot. You asked me if I had a mascot. Dude, of course I got a mascot. I forgot. I started all the videos with him. I don't know if anybody notices that, but usually the live feeds start with Chainsaw Man, and he's setting somewhere. Today he was on the light. He's chilling there. So, you gotta have Chainsaw Man. Okay, so Buck and Billy Ray Smith. Man, are we just beating up? Like, I feel like I'm kicking and just like clobbering and stomping and running over repeatedly a dead horse. I really do, because this week was just it was a lot, and I don't want to go forever on bucking, so I'll split it up. Let's do like he'd put out 3 videos this week that I don't. Oh wow, like there's so much wrong. So let's do the first one. I'll skip. I'll come back. We'll do the second one. We'll skip. I'll come back and do the third one. That fair? I don't want to stay on one person for too long, so. GP started. Better take. Okay. Actually, let's skip. Brandon put out a video this week. You gotta help him out. Oh, okay. All right, Brandon. Rusty's Tree Care. No sick days. So, video starts. He's talking about this tree, and he's like, he's actually he's dealing with I believe the homeowner or somebody, but he's like, he had to tell him, he's like, I'm gonna have to turn this down. I thought that was weird to go make a video where you turn down work. But I mean, I'm like, at least it's something original. So he's like, ma'am, I'm gonna have to turn this job down because there's not a neighboring tree I can rig from. And the customer was like, yeah, but don't you have like a bollard or something? Like, and he's like, what? She's like, yeah, you could get a GB bollard. It's easy. It was crazy that she knew about the GB bollard. That's how many people use them. But so he's like, no, ma'am. He's like, I'm not. I tell you the truth, I don't know if I'm cool enough or manly enough to be able to own it or use it and stuff. So he's like, I'm gonna have to turn it down. It was a crazy video. Everybody should go watch it. Like, it's good. So go check it out. It was called No Sick Days. I think that's what happened. But yeah, just shout out to Brandon though. Brandon, Rusty's Tree Care. Alright, Buckin's video. The biggest, most dangerous tree I've climbed in a decade. And I'm like, oh my god. Holy shit. This is crazy. Of course. He is now 100% tubing too hard. That title is, that's YouTuber to the core. So, in the video, he's got these 2 massive cedar trees. I think they're cedar trees. And I think they were dying. So did you turn it down because of the yellow jackets? Dude, I heard it was the bot because you didn't have a GB bollard. That's crazy. The funny part is you keep doing all this. You're just gonna like. I think we give. You make it so we give it like its own segment every time, which is great. So I can use the opportunity to show it and everything. You're the man, dude. Check it out. So it's GB Fabrications. Let me know. I know a guy, so I can. You won't have to turn him down anymore. We could do that. That would be cool. So the biggest tree he's climbed in a decade. He doesn't tie in twice for some reason. He just did this video where he talks on and on about loving tying in twice and how secure and safe that he feels and how he wants to make a better example for people and how his son just randomly decided to stress this to him and that's who he's giving the credit to is his son. And I was like, wow. he switches up so quick, it is very hard to keep up with. Bald face hornet. Dude, yellow jackets, hornets, bees in general. No. That's a good place to be. That way you can stay away from the ruckus. It's almost humorous if you're the guy in the tree and you can just watch the guys on the ground kind of run. I'm sorry, but like stuff like that, I laugh. So I know it's not funny and it's kind of mean, but found out last night I'm allergic to allergic freak sick. That's no good. Pepper wall suck. Damn. Hardly use Porter rat bastard. Yeah, I don't know about all that, dude. I have a video. It'll be up. It's done. I just need to take the time to shut my phone down and export everything. But in the video, we have this broken lead, and it's like over an air conditioner and on the side of a house and stuff. So we have to secure it. But we same thing you're saying. The Porter wrap's quicker, faster. Um, so Jake goes ahead and grabs it and gets it all set up, and then now, oh, we need to, like, how do you use this again? And I'm like, no way. So I have to show him how to use it again, even though he's used it. But I would never have to show him with the other one. So it's like, it ended up taking twice as long. So I don't know. Both are good. I'm just bullshitting anyway, so. Alright. What was I talking about? Yeah, he's not tied in twice, so I was just like, man, here he goes again. He heads up the tree. The crazy part is, he climbs it, and in the background there is a 125-foot man lift that they rented specifically to, I think, do this tree. And because they couldn't figure it out, it was a little tricky. You know, Buckin, he just instantly like, that thing's broke, it don't work. Because it's something different to him. It's something he would have to take time and focus on and learn. So it's like real quick. I'm very stubborn in my ways. Like, I like what I like. And like, I'll eat the same stuff nonstop. Change, I'm not the biggest fan of. So I get it. I relate to him when he does stuff like that. But you could tell he was over it and wanted an excuse not to have to almost use that thing because he doesn't know anything about it. So he's like, the machine's broke. I'm going to have to just climb. And I'm like, oh shit, okay. Here we go. Like, like I said, he's 60 foot or more up in this tree. Just buckstrap Billy Ray, which is, it's just crazy because the whole time he's talking to the camera as if he's teaching you how to do things properly. And that's my issue with it. If he wants to say, I'm bucking Billy Ray Smith, I'm an old school climber, I have old school methods, and this is what I do. Cool. But you don't give the false impression that, hey, it's okay to emulate what I do. It's not. It's silly. It's like sending someone into a gunfight with a slingshot. Like, what's the sense? They're gonna end up getting pegged right, like, and killed instantly. So it's like, I don't know. That's the part I don't like. But he climbs it instead. He gets up in the top. The tree's like got a hollow section. He was talking about, he kept wanting to put the rope higher and higher and higher, which to me doesn't make any sense. There's a hollow section, so the higher you get, the potential of breaking it out because he's using a tractor is so high. That's the reason I don't like machines like that and using them, because I've seen them break tops out. I've seen them, pull too hard and snap ropes. and just, or get in a situation where you need to keep going and they can't because they only have a limit. But I'm not a fan of using that, like vehicles and stuff. I try to avoid it. But he gets up in the top and he's trying to pretend like he's fine, but you can tell he's incredibly nervous. But he ends up taking the top out of the tree and done a pretty good job. So I mean, nothing major on that one. He's just tubing a little hard for his title. So he's bragging at the base, having a 2-1, and didn't use the other lanyard. He's yeah. I don't know. I don't know about the 2-in-1 thing. I think he had actually two lanyards. Two lanyards. And even the climbing system that he's using isn't, like, isn't totally, it's okay, but I don't think the French Prussic knot is meant for climbing on. But whatever. At least he's moving in the right direction. And I'm glad that he doesn't want to give me the credit for disciplining him and making him change his very outdated ways. He can give it to his son. I say that it's good because I'm on camera. I'm really bitter about it, and I want the credit when the camera stops. Okay? So we're clear. I want to be transparent. Bucket trucks are amazing. Oh man. Yeah, it would be nice always to have a bucket truck, so. Alright, let's get it. Alright, so. We're going to skip around. I don't want to do all bucking. Oh, here we go. Dude, absolutely. So I'm scrolling. Just scrolling through my shorts. And all of a sudden, Wrangle Star pops up. And I'm like, first, in my head, first thing was like, that's wild. Are those women's clothes? But then I'm like, what's this guy doing? So, yeah. The video starts, he's like, I don't think I'm zesty enough to say beloved. So, beloved is how he starts all of them. And I'm like, But he says the U.S. forestry industry fired me because I allowed my son to wear my hard hat in a YouTube video. So, due to that, I'm going to give away all of their secrets. I don't like that. But whatever. I guess you can do whatever you want. And I would also like to say, I don't believe that story. So I did a bit of research. This is all alleged. It's all alleged. But I asked for the information on what he was terminated for. And now, take this with a grain of salt. But this is what I'm being told. He's in his video. He's giving away this secret. All right, that you can take up to 6 cords of firewood out of a state or national park. All you got to do is go up there and get this little card. He says that they don't advertise it and they don't tell you about it, but you can absolutely. What up, John Bob? You can absolutely use this for 6 cords of wood per, and that's per person. So, I mean, for those guys that do wood, like firewood, that's a chunk of money, but if you were going to sell it, but I don't know why he feels like, I feel like that's known information, and he said he was going to give us all their deepest secrets, so that was kind of weak. So, I'm a little aggravated at the end of the video. I'm like, this dude's, not only is he zesty, but he's kind of two-faced. Like, he's instantly, if you're not doing something for him, he's roll over on you. He's like I think he's a rat. So, Regal Star is not the brightest crown in the box. Yeah, he's definitely not the smartest tool in the shed. You know what I mean? So he's blockbuster. Um, okay, yeah, I asked for the information. I said, "Can I get this information?" The company gets back with me and some emails, and I'm like, "All right, well, let's see what this is all about. What's going on?" So here's what I was told. I have it on good information that that he was actually fired because his clothes are too damn tight. I don't know what that's too tight, too tight. And he they don't like the zesty hanky, that zesty hanky thing that he's got there. That it's usually um, some pastel kind of color. But they didn't. There was a side note like he wears Canadian tuxedo too much, which I believe a Canadian tuxedo is where you when you wear all denim jean stuff, like a jean jacket, a jean shirt, and jean underwear, and but they don't like that. So it was the clothes are too damn tight, wearing zesty hanky, and being far too sus. So they said he had too many feelings, and they didn't like how he wouldn't learn their name. He would just call everyone beloved. And I don't like that. So I don't like that at all right now. Next time that some bitch calls me beloved, I'm gonna try to get him with a copyright strike or something. I don't like it. So you guys can let him call you that, but I'm taking a stand right now. It's over. We're done. We're done. I'm not beloved no more. Don't call me that. Don't. Fired because. Jeez. Yeah. See, I don't know. He did. He just. He's the. I was gonna say he rubs me the wrong way, but that's gonna start an internet like rumor that I'm playing for the other team. So like, I don't like him much. I don't think. I don't think that we are. That's not good either. I don't want to be compatible with him. I just don't. I'm not a fan. So, dude, maybe. I don't like that, guys. I don't like that. I'm about to write everyone a ticket about that. I don't like that. Okay, so we'll move on from Zesty Star. Um, hmm. Who? Oh, okay. Jeff Schroeder put out a video this week. That's at Jeff Schroeder. What equipment did I buy? Jeff ended up getting a mini skid. So check it out. It's a cool video. It fell a tree. But the best part of the video, Zappo's back. That that's awesome. I dig Adam. I think Adam is just a downright good dude. Whether there's tree work involved or not, I think that's a good human. Plus, he's not. Most of the time, if you're that good of a person, you're usually so weird that like you're awkward and like people. I don't know. But he's not weird like that, and he's a nice guy. So it's like I dig at him. So it's cool to see Zappo's back. So hopefully we'll see him more on Jeffrey's channel. That would be really cool. Yeah, Nate. Yeah. Um. Oh, I mean, kind of in relation to that, I would like to say, you are a complete. This is my notice to all of you two. You are a complete pussy if you get offended by what I say. because it's always for your better or for your safety. That's where sometimes I'm petty and tell you things I don't like. Just my opinion. But if you get offended, you have too many feelings. Um, I find it kind of humorous when those that I maybe do offend or have offended, I'll later see them doing the same thing I kind of did, a bit of teasing. This is what men do, okay? We don't sit around and pat each other on the back nonstop and just give positive reinforcement to each other. I don't need that. You don't gotta tell me how cool I am. I know how cool I am. You don't have to tell me how good I am. I know how good I am. So, I think it's funny when I see the same people sometimes that quickly get offended by what I do. When they're having a good day, they're just emotionally not there. They don't have control of their emotions enough to be able to accept a little bit of criticism or to be critiqued on anything. But when they're in their good mood and things are going right for them, they turn into the sheriff and they start razzing on people. And I don't like that. Be one way or the other. It's not okay when you do it. It's not when I do. No, I make the rules up. You're a pussy. I'm offended. Don't be offended. Years ago. Sweet. Right on, John Bob. You're both the times. Going Luke. Oh no, don't do that. Well, you can do whatever you can do whatever you want. But who do we want to jump? Oh, okay. I'll do some of the smaller ones that are kind of a bit quicker. Let's do. Well, I can't. I'm not gonna hit him. But JLM Tree Service put out a video. It was called Four-Headed Dead Tree Removal. So in the video, he's got I believe a hackberry tree. It's got some decay and stuff at the base of it. Looks like just really bad unions where like four heads grew out of a little short stump. He ends up climbing it out. I mean, the climb seems like it goes good. Video edited pretty good. So I've seen him leave comments where he'll talk about how his channel maybe isn't doing the best as far as views. So here's where a little bit of criticism and a critique can greatly help you. Now, if I was giving him some advice to get his views going, because honestly, his video should be doing way better than it is. This video has been up for like a week and it's got 76 views. He's got like 1.5, 1.7 thousand subscribers. The content is good. Like, it's edited well. The quality is good. Like, it's all there. But I've given him advice before, and I feel like he didn't listen to a bit of it because he's went the opposite direction. So, for you guys that do videos, avoid using the word dead or there's trigger words, and he often uses the word dead in his titles. That'll get a video like flagged to where it's not going to be pushed like it normally would. So in his title he put four-headed dead tree removal. So that's enough to get the video flagged. It's not going to be pushed like your other videos will. So if you can avoid that, That's one thing I would say to any tree dude that's putting out videos. Avoid that word. I don't know why. It doesn't seem right to me. I don't like that it happens that way, but it's just the reality. Zach show up? Oh yeah, what's up, Zach? Damn, I missed you. There's Red Bloods America. Oh shoot, Joseph Stewart. We got a whole motley crew here tonight. Right on. Um, yeah, if your thumb's not in your ass and you don't mind hitting the, you guys know. I'm not telling you. But avoid using the word dead, killed, stuff like there's trigger words, and that'll get the video somewhat flagged. Is sometimes you can be overly dramatic to the point that you lose the interest of your audience. So if you clickbait your audience enough times, I feel like you can offend them to where they're not going to want to watch. They're like, yeah, the thumbnail looks awesome, but this dude every single time lies his ass off in his thumbnails. It has nothing to do with the video. Or I'm not saying that's what JLM did in his, because I can't remember the thumbnail. But that's just one thing to avoid. Being overly dramatic. Especially if your audience is like legit is tree guys. When you make everything overly dramatic, they're like, why? Like that's my instinct always is like, why are you like when Buckin is like, this is so amazing, and he'll constantly be like, this is the most astonishing thing ever, and he's just like clipping a branch, but he's like, oh, this is amazing. That stuff is cringe, cringe, cringe. I try to avoid that because you have an audience that should be viewing it, and you're getting just a pinch of them, which I find a little weird. And also, I would say be authentic. No matter who, like, unless you've tried being you and putting out content and it absolutely failed and just fell on its face, then play a character. But if you're not trying to be you and putting it out, then and you're playing this somewhat of a character, it's not authentic. It comes across in the videos. It's easy to see for some people. I feel like I read people really good, and at times I feel like the real him comes out when he's talking in the videos on the headset to his ground guys. He's more calm. He's not this like upbeat, hello YouTube, like see you at the top, like overly like you don't have to. I don't know. I don't know. That would be my advice. Be you. Try that before you do the character thing. I don't know him personally, so I may be 100% off. Maybe he's not. Maybe this isn't a character. Maybe he is always G-rated with everything. But like, life isn't always positive for most of us. So like sometimes when I see someone try to pretend like everything's perfect always, it kind of goes through me. I'm more of a realist and a hater. So I'm half realist, half hater. Well, 60-40. I'm 60 hater, 40 realist. So you guys are crazy. Red Box Clip Alive. Uh, yeah, I mean, go check his video out. I've always tried to push some traffic his direction. I feel like I've offended him maybe at times, and maybe made him mad when I was just razzing him. And I thought like, dude, you're a country boy, tree dude. I'm a hillbilly, country boy, redneck, tree dude. Let's razz with each other. I'll give a little attention your way. And instead, it offended, and I was bummed about that. But it is what it is. Like, not everybody gets it. Not everybody has a sense of humor. So, They got to make a title for my most recent video. Yeah, video and everything, and I gave me a good time. But then I still want to well, I came back with truth. It better. That would be so awesome if AI starts to understand my rules and like it starts to tell you like when you ask for it, they're like that's not good. You will get a violation. Dude, that's so sick. I definitely need to talk to this AI guy and tell him like what the rules are so he can get things rolling already. So cardboard temper. Anyone else feel the guilty is going downhill? Oh yeah, you guys. I tell you what, let's go that direction. I was gonna hit another Buck and Billy Ray one. Let's go over there. So now, first let me preface this by saying I don't always want to be right. Okay? Sometimes when I say some of this stuff, I'm saying it like drawing attention to it. Like, hey, I sit here doing this forever to him. Hey, dude, stop doing this. And no, I was doing it with a damn flashing light in the background and sirens going off, dressed up like a damn cop, and I still couldn't get his attention. So, he ended up getting in trouble. It didn't work. I tried my damnedest, I felt like. Draw some attention to get his attention to say, hey dude, watch doing this, watch doing this, watch doing this. That instead he gets shut down and like gets in a bunch of shit, which is not what I wanted. Now, I feel like he's spreading himself so thin, getting so many excessive bills, like he's counting his chickens a lot of times before they're actually hatched. He's been able to make it. Just straight up. He's been able to keep it rolling. So I don't know that I can say for sure that he's wrong yet. Give me just a sec. I'll be right back. So I would say the most recent thing with him was when River was let go. I didn't think that was a good idea. I thought that was pretty lame. Um, and I just feel like there was probably more to it, and I would dislike the way he handled things even more if I knew the whole situation. But I don't. Um, Auction for Steelborn's notes. Yeah, yeah, I'll sell them. You can have the whole book. There's so many of them. So I have a folder like that that's full, and then I have, or a notepad like this that's full. And then I have a folder that's full. And then this is my new one for doing interviews, where I can keep some questions. So I feel like everybody, you have no clue the excessive amount of attention that I put into this stuff. It's actually I'm lame when I think about how much attention I put into it. Like, yeah, I'm not. That's not cool. I couldn't. I count chickens when they're still in the womb. In the butt? And they're still. Because I think chickens come out their ass. The chickens come out the eggs. So. I don't know, man. I don't know if I like that. Stop doing that. Yeah, I dig that. That's my dog. That's legit. That's my dog. That's my drug. That's the drug dog. He can smell anything, mainly food, treats, stuff like that. He's real good. Dude. We're not talking about that thing. I told you guys I didn't know it was cheetah print. I don't like looking at myself. I'm glad that's why I like the comments are down here because my face is up here. And I don't like my face. And I don't like my voice. So I don't have to hear the voice. I don't want to see the face. So I almost want to read comments like this, but then you can't see my face. So I just stare at the comments. I didn't ever look, so I didn't see it. But let's not talk about that. Uh, oh, yeah, we were talking about guilty, though, weren't we? Yes, he basically climbs poles. He should be the one wearing pole gaps. Not me. Alright, so Guilty put out a video. It was called, well, I might as well just go ahead and put this shit on right from the get-go. Okay, so first I just realized that I shouldn't have wrote him a ticket. But that was a future ticket because he put out a live feed. Yeah, this is what I was. It's called Cameraman's First Removal. So I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't watch it. I even got home and just walked. Like I think I was. Maybe it wasn't live, but it was basically telling me it was a live video. But I just didn't bother. I was so overheated and sick feeling from that day being out in the heat or the extreme cold that I ignored it. But the the thumbnail, I dig the thumbnail. The spikes on backwards, that's hilarious. I'm curious how this goes, so I am going to watch it. But Randy is not in the video this week. I don't like that. So you're going to get a ticket for no Randy. The tree, or the video was called I Hate This Type of Tree So Much. That is a sassy title. Like, and was there like a finger snap and a head move? Like, when you say, do you have to do that when you read it? So much. I don't like that. I don't like that. It's too sassy for me. I don't like that title. But normally they're a paragraph long, and this one isn't. So I mean, I'm gonna have to be okay with it. I mean, you can be sassy if you want. I don't know. But I feel like that title would be one that you would say with your hands on your hip and say it over your shoulder at somebody. But yeah, it is what it is. Randy's not there, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all. That's someone's got to fix this shit. And get Randy there, preferably with a blue jean vest that the entire crew has, and I want one too. But in this video, Isaac ends up climbing the first tree. They are Leland cypress. Every time he does a Leland cypress, it's this long, drawn out thing about how awful these trees are. They're the worst. And that's kind of funny. It's every time they do one. Like, everyone just absolutely despises it. So, I don't know. I would say that in my area there is a tree that we all would be like, they're the worst. Well, like black locust, honey locust, because they got thorns on them this big. But, yeah, I just kind of think it's funny every time. So, Isaac climbs the first tree. Sam climbs the second tree. Um, Jacob starts the video by complaining like normal. Either he's okay. He starts his videos. He's either wants you to buy something or listen to his woes and his problems and his issues. Um, he goes around pointing out that he needs to take 52 trucks to this job, and he points all of them out to you, lets you know what kind of truck they are, this, that, because God knows he's never done that before. And this is like something new, so you definitely need to label it and point them all out to us, give us all the info, because it's the first time we're seeing any of your vehicles or equipment. But, dude, Randy is always pulling him out of a pinch. And I just want to say that. Randy needs to get, you should be, he should already have a sleeveless blue jean vest with guilty of treason on it. And his name, Randy, which ain't even his name. But like, you know, every time he needs something, his chipper's not working, Randy's got a chipper. Bucket truck ain't working, Randy's got a bucket. Dingo or your Avant won't fit, Randy's got a dingo. Like, dude, you better take care of Randy. I hope you're hooking Randy up and he gets treated. He should be treated well. That's all I got to say. Because homeboy is letting you wear and tear his stuff even when he's not there. So Randy's not here in this video. They bring, instead of bringing the Avant because they're going through a tight space, they bring Randy's Toro Dingo, and even it had trouble getting through this little gate. I just, that's awesome. Randy does that for you though. But I just hope you appreciate that and don't overlook it because like I employ him. He should let me. No. But hopefully you look after Randy. So while he's crying and whining about all of his problems, how tough it is, he lets us know that the crane, the clutch went out in it, and it's a $7,000 clutch, and but it's already fixed. So, just I mean, it's kind of the way things work. The bigger the equipment, the more the maintenance, the higher the repairs. You know, the more stuff you have, the more upkeep, the more expensive, the harder to work on. Like, these are all variables that normally a person would think about and make sure, and but the modern day people don't think like that. They're like, I got this card and the bank told me that they'll give me this much money and I can get stuff. And I'm like, holy shit. Okay. But I feel like he is, I just don't want to see it though, if I'm being honest. I feel like he could easily start to struggle. But here's where when I say that and I start to worry, I then need to think about the amount of money he makes from YouTube, which is very good. It's good to be able to, yeah, let's just say it's good. It's got to be good. I don't know personally. I don't know an exact amount. I just know it's good. So, yeah. In the video, Isaac's tree, he was tip tying, and okay, so tip tie rigging, that is something I kind of wanted to point out and really just kind of overlook it at times when I discuss tip tying. But when you're tip tying on a tree, you want to get to the farthest that you can get. That way you can balance the weight out correctly. You want way more weight in the base than you have in the top. That way it'll orientate itself in vertically and allow you to bring it down a lot of times into a tight space, and it can be maneuvered real easy. When it end overs, you got all the brush and it's much wider. When it's like this, it's taking up way more space to come down. So when you tip tie, you're looking for stationary movements, like looking, and that's the benefit of it, because it keeps that piece in a vertical position, which normally, if you're in a tree, it's stationary because it was vertical limb and you rigged it. It's still um, so in the process of trying to get to the far tips to make sure that it's butt heavy, if you ever have a concern that where you're connecting it could fail, always, always use a half hitch. Like in reverse fashion that you would do to negative rig it or positive rig it, or yeah, negative rig, you would hook it up in the reverse. So your half hitch at the top and your connection at the bottom. When Isaac was rigging one of them tops of the Leland Cypress, the half hitch I think broke and the connection point caught it, I believe. But something failed when he was up there. It looked sketchy as hell, and in the sneak peek, the kind of like teaser at the beginning of the video, I thought his rigging point failed, and that's a huge fear of mine. So, especially that's why I try to avoid as much as I can avoid being tied into the rigging point because it's the highest potential for failure because of what you're doing with it. You can look up on YouTube how much he's making. Yeah, yeah, maybe. And then you gotta also look into Sappy Supplies. I mean, the dude's he's got a full schedule. It seems like he makes sure he stays busy. So I just hope I don't want to see him struggling, begging on the internet because he's in a pinch. Like I don't know. I'd rather just see him dominate and have a few less things, but just stay always in a good spot, not be stressing about needing to make so much money every month just to pay those bills to cover equipment. But yeah, I think that was basically it in the video. Oh, the stump grinder would not fit into the backyard. That was the other thing that was kind of crappy about it. He shows his stump grinder. He's showing it off. He's like, look at it. I can even make it thinner. He puts the tracks in, and it still won't fit through it. So, I believe the answer is the Toro. So, oh, okay. So the entire tip tie failed, and there was a butt tie to it, and that's what caught it? I thought the half hitch on the tip tie failed, but the anchor point caught it. But what you're saying kind of makes more sense because when the piece got to the ground, Jacob was like, if you would have put it down a few more inches, it would have been fine below the union. But yeah, okay, well that makes sense. So that's basically it for guilty though. Zach Riggs, that's Zacchaeus, put out a video, 2 men versus a tree removal job. Come on, Zach. You're a nice guy, but you get one title, man. You get one title. You don't get two. So stop with this two title shit. We're trying to hold and have some standards here. No one wants to read that much shit. So stop. Um, Another channel is Bert's Custom Cuts. I like Bert. Usually he's in the comment section, but the dude's a hard worker. He's always busy. I think he works a full another job and like tries to make it to all the live feeds. That runs his YouTube channel. So shout out to Bert. He's getting her done. He put out a video saw sharpening and cleaning. Let's jump back real quick before I go too far and do one more for bucking. Oh, all right. Since you know what, I had this needs to be done. I had this notice put on my desk this morning when I came in at the depot. So as soon as I got to the precinct, They were like, "Did you hear what happened?" And I said, "No. What's going on?" They said, "They issued a warrant for him." And I said, "Who?" They said, "Deputy Pounder." And I said, "What?" They said, "Dude." So I'm like, "What kind of shit's going on here?" So I got to looking into it. So a warrant, the, the YouTube channel is at Ground Pounder. So a warrant was issued for one-handing an 880. So, I mean, I don't really know what to say about it. So I wanted to know, I know I didn't put the warrant out, who authorized this to happen. So they went above my head. They went above me. And apparently there's a lot of ladyboys on YouTube. And they all banded together. They held hands and made a big circle. And they called the precinct and put the phone in the middle. And with a lot of lists all talking at once, it was hard to hear, and it was weird. It was real weird. It was a very zesty message, and I was like, okay, but so their complaint. I mean, there's a few of them. The the lady boys, they went straight to the FBI, and I'm like, I didn't know that there was. I didn't even know about there being ladyboys in the FBI, but apparently there is. Um, this is just, this is all rumor, but like, they got through to them somehow, and they started complaining. They said, well, we can't use an 880 with two hands, and I'm like, okay, so you're mad because you couldn't run that saw with two hands, so you're real mad because you seen him run it with one hand. And they basically was like, this ain't fair. So when I was talking to him, I'm like, that's not against fair. Isn't like against the law. That's not. Can't do that. I don't know what kind of shit they're trying to pull. I'm trying to get it figured out. But one of the agents that is apparently against you and issued this warrant, apparently his wife left him after watching your video. And I mean, we'll get this figured out. I'm gonna see if I can get it lifted. But just stuff happens sometimes. We'll deal with it. Keep it in the precinct. We don't want to talk to a lot of people, but that's why it's good that it's just us here, so this won't we can it won't get out or anything. But yeah, yeah. I'm gonna check into this. I'll see. I'll see. Just may have to turn yourself in, and I'll run up there and bond you out or something. But we'll get her taken care of. Yeah, I was actually supposed to open the show with that. And they were all, you gotta make sure this is out. I'm like, I don't like this. So, fucking Billy Ray Smith put out another video. So I'm like, last video, he took that top. He climbed that tree, he took that top, he didn't tie in. I don't know how I feel about the helmet that he wears. I kind of think it's kind of cool, but then at the same time, I'm like, I reserve to hold my opinion about the helmet. So, huge rotten tree, and I'm late. The symphony break out the Jesus Christ. First of all, that title don't make no damn sense. It don't make sense. Don't make no sense. It's a blockbuster title. It's not good. Just for reference, when something is good, it's Netflix. Netflix. Or when it's bad, it's Blockbuster. So That's not good. I don't like that. I don't like that title. I don't like the part where you said break out the ladder. I don't even know what you mean by I'm late the symphony. That's not even a real that's not real. But huge rotten tree, comma, and I'm late the symphony. Break out the ladder. Okay. So he uses this ladder. I've never seen no ladder like this before. It's very large and very wide. It's kind of it's like a fatback ladder. It's 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 like it's normally ladders are all skinny like, but this one is it's got like a each rung is like 4 foot wide or 4 foot wide. It's crazy. But it's real short. And in this video, he's like, I'm gonna follow these logs, okay? He had taken the tops out of those two rotten cedars. He said, I'm gonna follow these logs. Then he breaks out a ladder, and I'm like, oh my god, here we go. He gets her done with the first one. Okay, he was able to get that first one over. The part I don't get is you have a man lift. Okay, also, let me say this. At the end of the last video, where he was up in the tree and he was stripping it out and turning it into the log that he could fall, the homeowner come around. I think his name was Jeff. Maybe it's Jeff. We're gonna say Jeff. And he's like, "What's up, Jeff?" And he says something about the tech came over and looked at the machine. He says it wasn't on when we were using it, or it's not flashing, or something like that. And so Buckin, first thing, he wants that thing to be broke so bad. He's like, "So it's broke. We were right. It's broken." And Jeff's like, "No, it works." And Buckin's like, okay. Okay. So, this video starts where that one left off. The man lift works if you were just gonna notch the tree and stand there on the ladder while the log falls, instead of cut and move and get out of the way. Get in the man lift instead of standing in a stupid position on this ladder. Like, it's absolutely like a complete knucklehead move. You have a man lift behind you that will allow you to be in a very safe position on the back side of the tree to make the cut very easily, and I just don't get it. I don't get it. He is dangerous for the sake of being dangerous sometimes. There's no sense in it. And he just doesn't. I don't want to see anything happen. But he gets the first one to go. Doesn't use the man lift, uses the ladder. So then on the next one, I'm like, maybe he'll use a man lift on this one. No, this one, he's going to climb up the ladder and onto the stump he just cut. He doesn't make it a flat cut. It's still got the notch on it, the Humboldt, so it slants down. It's got the shards sticking up from where it fell. There's a hole in the middle, like it's all punky. And that's what he's going to use for his standing. He makes his notch. And when he goes to cut this one, he doesn't get off that stump. He stays there. Because he didn't have a way to escape. He didn't attempt to have a way to escape. He thought it was a good idea at that point to stand there in that bad position, to the point he almost loses his leg and almost gets his foot smashed when that log comes over, and he barely lifts his leg up as it goes by his leg. He turns around after this, and no. First of all, you're reckless. That's dumb behavior. And there was no reason to even take all that risk when there is a machine that this homeowner has rented to make things easy for you. And I don't get it. I don't get it. It was like, hey, it's my opportunity to to show off, because there's a reason. Let me say this. There's a reason that there's not a bunch of guys on YouTube standing on top of ladders falling trees nowadays. There's a reason why you're going to see things on Buck and Billy Ray's channel that you will not see on others, unless they watch Buckin and learn from him, because they're unnecessary risks. I don't like it, but I mean, I guess you're entitled to do whatever the hell you want to do. But when he took that second log over, he barely gets his leg out of the way. It's ridiculous. So as the log hits, I'm telling you, you can see his brain working. The cameras are watching me. So he turns around with the cockiest, smuggest look, where he's trying to pretend like that you almost just got your leg ripped off, like smashed by this massive log. What if it rolled a little more, it'd have got you? He turns around with the most smug look and looks at the camera, and then turns back, and then he turns back around to look at the camera again, because he feels awkward at that point. You can pretend to be Mr. Cool Cat, like everything just went to plan. No. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. That was sketchy as hell, and that was a close call. And I'm glad you didn't get hurt. I'm glad nothing happened. But you can't pretend like that wasn't perfect when it didn't. That's where you're lame. Where you're completely just lame. And I just don't relate to it. I don't like it. I don't relate to it. And basically, tubing too hard. That's what it is. You're tubing way too hard. Your title, you're tubing so hard it didn't even make sense. So just stop tubing that hard, dude. Just stop. Here's my issue. I just want the dude to not get complacent, because he pats himself on the back about how amazing he is, to the point that he thinks he's the authority on anything that involves a chainsaw, and he's ready to teach. Anything that involves cutting or tree, like he's the authority. You may be much more knowledgeable than the next person, but there's a reason I'm not here teaching you how to do mechanic work, or teaching you how to write a book, or like even read, because I don't know how to do any of those things. Okay? Good morning to you, Lazy Stain. Lazy Stain? That's sick. I dig the moniker. Yeah, dude, I just don't want to see him get so complacent to the point that he no longer respects the fact that he's taking risks, and that it just becomes mundane to him, or he's done it so many times. I'll get out of it. I'm the man. This isn't a video game. In this line of work, you can't just hit the reset button. It's not the original Nintendo. You could just hit the reset button, start the game right over. I mean, it was sweet. You could instantly just bam, restart your shit. This is not the way it works. We don't really get redos in this, and if you do, you're lucky, you're blessed, and you should be grateful. Yeah. So let's do the last video that Buckin put out. Here's the one that may have bugged me more than any of them. And I'm gonna, yeah, your titles, this ain't right. So here's the video you didn't even know you wanted. Buck and Billy Ray comes out with epic tree pruning project. 5 hours in the air. That's just, it's like two titles. Figure out a way to make it into a sentence, make it make sense. That don't really make sense. I don't like that. This is the worst damn pruning video I think I've ever seen. I don't like it. I don't like it. It's not good. It's there's a few things in it that are correct that I maybe somewhat slightly agree with, but there's so much that's off with the video that it once again this is it's like if you're like, man, I wish somebody would water my plants. And this one, so your neighbor's like, dude, I got you. What do you got? And you're like, I got just these two flowers, man, and I can't ever remember, or I don't have time. Can you take care of them? He's like, I got you, dude. So he comes over and he pisses on them every day, even though it's liquid. It's not good for it, and it just ruins it. So when you oversaturate YouTube with bad information, it takes YouTube where it's a resource for some people, and it screws it all up. Because the next person that looks up pruning videos, epic pruning video from Buck and Billy Ray is going to pop up, and they're going to learn how to do it improper. So let's get into it. Like I said, worst pruning video I think I've ever seen. He's pruning at the wrong time of the year anyway. So there's seasons for pruning. I just had a lady try to contact me today. She was like wanting me to do this, and I'm like, no, you don't do that right now. Like it's not the right time. And she basically was like, thought I was lying. She got the phone with me, looked it up, quickly text messaged me back and says, you're correct, thank you, I'll be in touch. So it's unreal how many times you'll see pruning videos, and it's very obvious that that's a pruning video because they're labeling it and they're just showing you how to prune, but they're pruning at the wrong time. So like you could know what you're doing, but if you go do it at the wrong time, that's about the same as some yahoo just showing up and cutting stuff whenever he wants. He may have a better outcome because he'll do it at the right time of year than you do when you're doing it the right way, you think, but it's at the wrong time. So like things have to line up for it to correctly work. But he's doing it completely wrong time of the year, which is funny to me. He makes a lot of flush cuts. Well, I don't understand why he does it. So when you're on a trunk and a limb or a union comes off, you want to make the cut when where the branch starts to develop the collar. The reason for that is you can end up with a very small wound. So the closer you bring it into the trunk, you're making a bigger wound because the collar makes the cut much bigger. So you want to keep the smallest wound you can. And then the tree can quickly compartmentalize around it. When, if you bring it back, you make it flush, it takes it twice as long to compartmentalize. He understands some aspects of pruning. You can tell there's a little bit of knowledge there. But when he started this video, he said, I watch pruning videos all the time. I watch UK pruning videos. I watch this video. He said, he knows pruning. He's very good at it, he thinks. And then goes up there and makes really just weird decisions. He constantly kept removing vertical growth when the object should have been to remove excessive weight and like correct some growth patterns. So the tree had just went like this, and it droops over this house, leans car crazy over the house. So I would be looking to eliminate stressed out limbs that are starting to almost grow horizontally because they got gravity fighting them and they start to arc over and they're just stressed out. That's where you're going to get failures. That's why the customer, the homeowner, called him and had him do it because that's what they're worried about with the tree. The tree has a huge rotten spot on the back of it where it's basically hollow, and Buchan's like, okay, he would go up, and he was removing some weight, which was a good thing, because as he removed it, the limbs would pop up. That tells you that limb is stressed to the max, because it's changing its like orientation the way it is, and even jumping up in height because the wood's being forced because of the weight and gravity and stuff. So I would always be looking to bring it back, a third in size as much as possible to a vertical growing limb. It is as vertical as I can get because I want upward growth. The tree already leans like crazy, so I want upward growth. That way it's causing compression in that limb as opposed to tension where it's starting to bend it. Less potential for failure, my opinion. So he keeps taking out vertical growth. He keeps leaving the horizontal growth. Um, I don't I don't think he quite understands why a sucker grows in a tree. So he kept saying, I don't want to take that limb off because I don't want to generate more growth there. So a lot of times with a tree, if you go thin the tree out big time and you allow a whole bunch of sun into the trunk of the tree's going to start to throw out water sprouts there because it's a natural defense mechanism is to cover itself up. I've seen many times in my area where trees have been topped too much and it's so hot here that they get sun scald and it actually burns the bark off the tree, kills the tree. Because the tree didn't have any coverage, it sat there and baked in the sun to the point that it just burnt it up like the worst sunburn you could ever get, and the tree doesn't come back. The bark starts to fall off of it. So when you start punching a bunch of holes into the tree, allowing light through, the tree knows that you made a bunch of cuts. It knows it has some issues, so its defense is to cover itself up. So it'll try to throw out sprouts where you've made cuts because you've made it bare there. It's it's not because if you made a cut somewhere and it's completely hidden, the likeliness of the tree trying to throw a whole bunch of epicormic growth there is going to be very low as opposed to on the ends or you make a cut and the sun's directly beating down onto that. The tree has some defense to it and that's what it does. So I don't know what he thinks that the sucker growth in on the trunk is a really good thing. My opinion on that, the it had some suckers growing on the trunk, is because the cedar tree that was next to it finally had died out, and the sun was beating through on the backside of this maple where it never did before. So because of all that, the tree threw out a little more epicormic growth there, and that's just kind of the result. It's defense is happening there. So not only that, you get these weird stubs and stuff that his opinion, if you break the branch off, that's the best cut you could make. It's not, but okay. So he says in his video that he hopes that this is educational for the viewer. He says, I know that it's educational for the tree guys. So I want to know how many of you guys learned something when you watched it, because I feel like he taught you guys everything that you know, and you should relearn. So. Holy shit! Did Daniel come through here? I can't. I can't go back that far. I thought I seen him. Bound to happen. I don't know what we got going on. Dude, I told you, leave that fucking sissy lift thing alone and send it to me. You know, I want to say, if that, I would like to, I just want to say that if the rope was orientated correctly around the stem of the tree, I would like to assure you and let you know right now that that would have never happened. Solely because rainbow anchor is just wrong, dude. It's just not good. It's just not good. I know you like it a lot, but it's not safe. Um, so that's 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 not cool that that happened though. I don't like that. Yeah, I just in the video, Bucking totally disregards like the growth patterns of the tree. The customer or the homeowner really wanted some certain work done to it. You could tell. Bucking doesn't want to do that. He's trying to teach everybody how to do it. He would just randomly clip branches. None of it made any sense. He would go out on the ends of the limbs, find the branches that were actually growing vertical, clip them off, and leave the ones that are horizontal so that it continues to stay stressed. You have to see it to understand. I don't really. It was like instead of pruning it, he treated it like it was a Doug fir or something, where you do the spiral thinning kind of thing. That's what he did to this maple tree. And the homeowner is like, don't you think we should take this one and this one and this one and this one? According to Bucking, if you take one limb off back to the main stem, that's so much worse than him making 400 little cuts all throughout the camping. I don't know. I don't agree with his ideology at all. So, my opinion, the tree looked better before he trimmed it. That's just my opinion. I like the tree better beforehand. I would have looked to just take out the stressed limbs. He even got to a limb that had a split in it, that had a big crack that had started to heal, and decided, nah, you don't really need to take a bunch of weight off this one. It's all right. We'll take these little bitty things off here, and it'll make it perfect. But I mean, he did eliminate some weight, but just I don't know. This is my opinion. I see that tree failing at some point. And luckily, it's not over their house, I don't think. I think they called it a studio. So I hope that they don't live there. I don't want to see anybody get hurt. But he didn't really do much to fix the problem of the tree being stressed out and the potential for it having failures in it. He just thinned the inside out and tried to let some sun through, which I don't know. He treated it like it was like a pin oak tree in a park or something, but I don't know. To each their own. I learned he got lots of friends. He said hello to. Sweet, sweet. Alright, I think I got a couple more. Who haven't I? Oh. So. That was the end for Bucking. We did JLM. We did Schroeder. Did the Y'all Are a Pussy Notice. We did Ground Pounders. We did Wrangle Star. Y'all did Wrangle Star. I did. Brandon. Blah, blah, blah. Can't do it. I need a bollard. J306. So, Jay put out a video called Dead Elm and Storm Damage Cleanup. Basically, I just love how he addresses and gives full attention to the potential danger throughout the day. Points it out, makes sure that you don't get complacent. He's always bringing it up. I'm the same way.
he seems like he's building quite a little army of the next generation of tree dudes. I think that's awesome. They seem well trained. And the other thing was like he just Jay's always so calm and straight to the point, like matter of fact. I just relate to it and enjoy watching it. There's no overly dramatic BS, for the sake of content. But yeah, that go check out Jay. His he's a hell of a guy. That's J306. Rion put out a video. What we found inside this massive tree shocked us. So I think he had to send an eviction notice, which I actually had to go out there and serve that as the sheriff to a raccoon. They used the Merlot to do the job. Uh, the tree had a bunch of eggs up in it. I think they were saying from some kind of weird duck or something. But that's what we're gonna start doing. Like when people aren't cool, we're gonna call them ducks, and then we're hawks. Okay, so like we're all like hawks, and other people are ducks. So just a little way of differentiating this. Local Joe. I don't know about this channel. I think I like it, and then I don't like it. I think the situation is, I think I like the heavyset guy, and I think the little skinny guy gets on my nerves. I'm just being honest. He's like a TikToker, I feel like. And the other guy's like a country boy who's like pretty straightforward. Maybe he's not the safest dude in the world. Maybe he does stuff a little cowboyish at times, but he seems straight, like honest and like matter of fact, and not too burnt from social media and stuff these days. So he doesn't have that I'm the main character syndrome like most people. But I don't even know their names. I'll figure that out next time. One of them's probably Joe though. So they were doing videos. New chainsaw review. Neotech NCS 6200A tested out of the box. No, Jesus Christ. Yeah, let me do this. Dude, this is the worst. This is like first degree tubing too hard. Your title's 50, like it's two full sentences, and there's fucking hashtags in the title. We're not doing this here. This is not what we're doing. We're not doing this. You don't get to put your hashtags in the title. It's already long enough. This is ridiculous. I don't like any of this. So, the little skinny guy, he's always trying to do some weird YouTuber stuff. I'm gonna call him, he's the TikTok kid. So, TikToker and the other guy's gonna be Joe. Joe's sitting there and he's got real climbing gear. TikToker is a pretend knockoff version of a tree climber, and he's like, I got pretend knockoff gear, and you should check out my stuff. And he would love to be a dork and be like, it's just as good. But I feel like he's got enough common sense to realize it's not. And then the other dude, Joe, seems like he's just straightforward. He's like, that's trash. Like, I think it's junk. Or you get what you pay for. Or, he just seems like an honest, hard-working dude. And the other kid just seems like this is so fun for him, and it's like a hobby, and can you imagine the content I'm going to get out of it? How many talks I'm going to take with it? I don't know, but the little one, he's just not, I don't know. I don't know if I think the little one just gets on my nerves. They put out another video, Amazon's most popular Budget spikes versus industry standards. Hashtag this, hashtag this, hashtag no. But that's two videos. You did it on both. I don't know who the hell told this yahoo that he can use hashtags in his title, but someone needs to tell him he needs to stop. But go check them out. I don't even want to talk about it. I don't like it. This title's dumb, so I'm not. Last one. Veterans Tree Service. Jake G. Wentworth. 877 tops now. I wanna write him a ticket. I wanna give him a ticket. But technically, it's not two sentences. It's a name and a phone number. So we're gonna let it slide. In the video, he talks about how his lanyard positioner, the little wire on it broke. I have like 3 of them things where they broke, and you can use weed eater string to repair it sometimes. I started looking through the comment section on Tim's video. I would just like to say there's far too much glazing going on in your comment section, where you guys are like, "You're so amazing," and then the other guy's like, you're so amazing," and he's like, "Oh, thank you so much for making your content. It really pleases me." And you're like, "You know what? It pleases me to make content for you." You guys need to knock it off. Stop glazing each other in the comment section. I don't like it. Tim, okay, Tim thinks that I was reading the comments. He says my views are down. I think maybe my channel or something got flagged. The views are low. His commenter also says mine are always low, but they're even lower right now. Let me kind of make like, okay, a lot of people enjoy watching tree work, myself included, all throughout the year. But there are times during this time of the year where I'm so exhausted, the last thing I want to see is a tree video. And when there's 50 billion people out there making tree videos, if you don't watch it right then, it can get lost in the sauce. Even though you may love a channel's content, it may fall down in your feed and you forget about it. So this time of year, I would think most channels are having low view counts. But that's just my 2 cents. Also in the comment section, some people are wild. So they leave a comment where they're like, "You should buy this tool, or this tool, or this tool, or this tool, because they're the most amazing. It'll be a game changer for you. I own all of them, and they're all amazing." Because he thinks he's seen Tim's video, and Tim's positioner broke. So that gave this commenter a chance to tell you what to do. So he gives you a list of lanyards that you should buy. Okay, that's nice of him. Let's just say that as a commenter or a supporter, that's nice of him to give you suggestions. So when Tim responds back with, "I already bought a positioner. I bought this one, the Buckingham buck one," and he says, "But my videos are a little far behind. I'm getting caught up, and this is actually a little older content. It's not super recent." That's where that commenter should have said, "Oh, well, if you ever maybe want to change and look for a different one, try one of those." That's not. This is where the know-it-all, fat-headed tree dude comes in, and they just can't help but almost get mad because they suggested something to you and you didn't buy it. You bought something else. Hey, listen, numbnuts. I bought it before you ever typed your fucking comment. So I don't know what you're crying for right now for. If you tell me some suggestions, and I say, "Oh, that sucks. I already bought it. I already spent my money." Then you come back with, "Well, that was a dumb move. You should try one of these. That's trash in comparison." to the ones I told you to buy. Dude, that's lame as lame gets. You're ignorant. You don't have any manners. So, someone made it clear to you, thank you for your suggestions, but I've already made a decision. That's where you leave it alone. Unless you're rude and a know-it-all, so then you gotta come back and let them know you made the wrong decision, and you should have bought one of the ones I told you to buy. No, there's too many tree dudes out there with these big fat ass heads that think that they know everything. You don't know shit. You don't know shit. Especially if you're watching somebody, you don't really know shit about me. Okay, you probably think I'm like this cool. When in actuality, I'm like this cool. You don't know the truth. You know what I want you to know, and that's it. So don't be a dickhead commenter, because it's just lame. So Tim's doing his tree. He's gonna climb his tree. He can't damage the flowers. Comment section sucks though. I'm gonna tell you, your comment section sucks. It's lame. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. And I think they're lame as hell. So Tim was throwing. He was leaving stubs. He was throwing these stubs into the trash can. I just would like to make it clear, because I have a little more, information than everybody else. Some of you may think that he was very consistent with throwing them into the can. He only made 3 out of 70. So those are not good odds. He was not good at it. He actually sucked at it. He was the worst. So he only did 3 out of 70. But he only showed you 4 attempts. So that made you think he's all good. He's not good. He's not good at all. So he basically didn't make any. So that's the magic of editing. I just need you guys to know that.
Yeah, I don't do Facebook at all.
I don't do Facebook at all. People's heads are the fattest over there. Everything was going good. I think it's funny that, like, Ferns, where you're at, well, I don't know what just happened. I think it's crazy where you're at. Ferns are like a weed. That's crazy to me. But everything was going good until I seen that goddamn rainbow anchor, and I gotta shut this shit down. That's reckless behavior, endangering another, and like, I don't know what else to call it, but you're just tubing too hard. Don't use the rainbow anchor. Don't tie to a single limb. I don't like it. I don't want to see it. Fix that. Fix that. Fix that. So, I think it's funny that the J.G. Wentworth commercial it goes that far, because where I live, that's funny. I knew exactly what you were talking about when I seen it, like instantly. And the commercial is actually J.G. Wentworth, and he put Jake G. That's kind of clever. I always wonder, like, what in other regions, or if you're seeing the same stuff I'm seeing, because like things will be catchy or something here, but it's like a local thing, so other people don't even know what the hell you're talking about. That's why I have like a whole language that you guys probably don't even get. But yeah, you get that rainbow away. I don't like that. I don't like how there's so many. Why is there so many colors? Like, every once in a while you can throw some green or something on, but they make a lot of black clothes. You don't have to do all this. And orange and green and yellow, that's it. Black, brown. At the end of the video, he says he got some smaller videos coming, okay? But here's where I got a problem. Don't you ever tell me that I'm satisfied or happy about the content you put out, because I'm not. He says, got some smaller videos that are going to be coming out. We get caught up on some content, so they'll be coming out frequently. I hope you guys are happy with the content. I'm sure you guys are good with it and love it, and I'm sure you guys like the content. Don't you ever tell me what I like because in actuality, it keeps popping up on my feed. I thumbs down every video, and it still comes up. So my thumbs down may be broken or something, but that's probably why you ain't getting no views, because I keep thumbs down and everything. Don't tell me I like it. I don't like it. Oh, so that's it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a one percenter, brother. I am a one percenter. I thumb down every single time. I'm also petty. I'm very petty, so I do that. Uh yeah, guys. Um all in all, I'm just tired of talking to you guys. You guys are really getting on my nerves. Sometimes I don't even like you guys, but uh, I can't handle it no more. I'm getting frustrated. Um I'm getting angry, but thanks for giving me your time. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for hanging out. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and have a safe work week. I appreciate you guys. Shout out to all them new members. You guys are the best. See you next time.